gosh, look how pretty my nails are. They're just so pretty. What the fuck? Hey guys, welcome to volume 2 of my burn book series. All the products that I use today will be listed in the description bar below, so if you are interested in getting this look, then keep on watching. So we are going to be using gelatin for our burn look today. So what you are going to need to do is boil some water, pour it into a cup, and then place your gelatin into the warm water bath, and then set it off to the side so that it can do its thing. And whilst that's going on, we can continue on with the next steps. I'm going to start by painting my design onto my skin using alcohol-based paints and a stipple sponge, a sponge that I have picked holes into to create more texture and to blend it in more naturally with my skin. The colour that I'm using is Blood Tone from the Skin Illustrator Pirate palette. Now this is the lightest red in the palette, and I'm just going to use this as a lovely base for our burn. I'm going to map out where my design is going to be, and then I'm going to stipple more blood tone onto random areas of my design just to build more colour. I absolutely love alcohol-based paints. They are so buildable and so natural. Just look how natural that looks right now. It's so cool, but it's a preference, so if you do prefer to use water-based paints, you can go right ahead and do that. But for this tutorial, I will be using alcohol-based paints instead. Then going in with the medium red in this palette, this is Aged Blood. This has more of a brown undertone to it. I'm going to stipple this onto my design, paying more attention to the areas that have been built up by the blood tone, just to create some more depth for our burn. You'll start to see areas of your burn become more defined as you start placing this aged blood on top of the blood tone. And these are the areas that you are going to want to go over with a deeper red. Now the colour that I'm using is Bruise Tone. This is a very deep burgundy colour, and I'm using a very small stipple sponge just to stipple this over those more defined areas of my burn. Just do you guys wherever you think it's going to look best for your particular look or design or preference. You know, whatever. Go crazy. I've then dipped my little stipple sponge into some alcohol, and I'm just going over these bruise tone areas just to diffuse that colour and blend it in more naturally with the other colours we have already applied. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate how cute this little stipple sponge is? It's just so little. Then taking a Q-tip or cotton bud dipped in alcohol, I'm going to brush this over certain areas of my design wherever I deem fit, just to take away some of that colour and create pockets in all of that red. This is also a really good way to diffuse any colour that you think is too bright, or if you've built too much colour up, you can just go over it with a clean cotton bud dipped in alcohol, and this will take away a lot of that colour, if not all of it, whatever you prefer. Then taking the yellow in this palette, this is Prime Yellow, I'm going to go into all of those little crevices, all of those little pockets that we made, and create little fat pockets, because doesn't that sound yummy? Nom nom nom, fat pockets. Then to deepen up any of that fatty yellow, you can go in with a cotton bud / Q-tip dipped in alcohol, and you can place some more yellow on top of the colour that you've already applied just by stippling it on top. This is just going to deepen up that colour if you should so desire. I also seem to remember that we were doing something in preparation for this moment, but I can't remember. Ah, yeah, gelatin. That's right. So now it's time to take your gelatin out of its warm water bath. Just be very careful because it will be quite hot because it has been in boiling water, so don't burn yourself for real. Give it a good squeeze just to distribute all of that product, and then if yours is in a bag like mine, just cut open the top and place it back into the water just to let it settle in its juices, and then squeeze it again just to make sure that everything is as it should be. Then using a spatula, I'm going to start working that gelatin all over this design. I like to work in small areas, in little circles, just to give that burn a more natural, boiled look. I like to work in small areas as well because the gelatin does dry very, very quickly, so this kind of helps to maintain the process. Also, the more uneven the better, guys. I like to keep certain areas free of gelatin so that there's just skin showing through, just to keep that design underneath visible, even though this gelatin is clear. But don't be afraid to have areas of skin showing through. It does give a good effect. Also, as a reference, if your gelatin does start to solidify in the baggie or pot, whatever you have your gelatin in, you can just add more warm water to your cup just to keep everything nice and liquefied. And you can also totally take your time with this. You can do whatever you desire with this part of the tutorial. I like to spend absolutely ages doing this because I find this so much fun. So enjoy it! Then once you've completed the first layer of gelatin over your design, you can then go over areas with more gelatin just to create some more levels, add more texture, more depth, whatever you prefer. I love to go over certain areas with some more gelatin just to add a little bit more gore. Because, you know, why not? Let's get creative. Then once the gelatin has set, it should look something like this. Then taking some translucent powder, I am then going to dust this all over the gelatin to reveal the masterpiece that lies beneath. Seriously, the difference is going to be quite astounding. Enjoy. Just look at that! How disgusting and nasty does that look? So you can actually finish the look here if you wanted to, but if you want to continue on with the next steps, then stick around. Taking a matte black eyeshadow, you can then go over certain areas of your design and start adding a really gross charred effect. The black eyeshadow will be quite buildable. You can also wet it to create more of a pigmentation to give it a nice deeper burnt look, but it's totally up to you. And yeah, just place it into random areas wherever you deem fit. Then taking my FleetStreet drying blood that I recently got at iMats, I am taking it on a cotton bud or Q-tip, whichever you prefer, and placing it into all of the deeper crevices and grooves, pockets in the gelatin. I am then dabbing my finger over these areas to disperse the blood and blend it in a lot more nicely to give it that really gross, gooey look. Because that's what I'm going for. Then once that blood has set, I'm going back in with that matte black eyeshadow on a damp brush this time, and I'm just going to deepen up some of that charred flesh. And then, because he always needs a mention in almost every single one of my videos, and I thought he was feeling a little bit left out, I am going in with my Bruise Gel in dark red to deepen up some of that blood effect. Then, as an optional extra, you can always go in with some tweezers and pick away at some of that burnt flesh to reveal the design beneath. Because, you know, we spent quite a while making this look as gory as possible, so why not show all of our hard work? And because gelatin is naturally shiny anyway, and we did a lot of underpainting, if you start to peel away some of that gelatin with your tweezers, you'll be able to create some very nice blister-like effects without even trying. So, nicely done, guys. Good job. And now is the perfect time to utilize the copious amounts of lube that you have lying around your house. So, take some lube. I'm using Slide and Ride water-resistant lube from Ann Summers, in case anyone is interested. And I am rubbing this all over my burnt flesh, because ironically, burnt flesh has a lot of seepage. And lube is just the perfect substitute. And that concludes volume 2 of my burn book series. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and if you want, subscribe. Come and join the madness. We have fun here. It's pretty cool. So until next time, guys, have a good day. Bye.